Hey everybody, I have the distinct honor to be in the presence of an amazing filmmaker, James Jones, the founder of Bearhug Productions, and he is, now listen to this, a producer, director, writer, editor, cinematographer, husband, father, and just an amazing human being.
Thank you.
I am so blessed to have been invited. Before I said that, I invited myself, whatever it is. I'm just so excited to have this opportunity to be here with James. We are doing this as we lead up to the 3rd annual Pecan Pickling Film Festival, taking place in none other than northeastern North Carolina in just about a month from now in Bertie County, downtown Windsor.
Yes.
Shout out to Windsor, North Carolina at 104 Lansdowne Avenue at the Bertie County Center, which is the Ag Extension is in the center as well as the library. It's a big facility, but just to give you some places so that you can kind of connect on where we are. And it will take place on Friday and Saturday, September the 12th and September the 13th. The 12th will be workshops and film screenings, and beginning from 9 to 5. And on Saturday, it will be the red carpet event with heavy hors d'oeuvres and film screenings, the Effie Awards celebration, and a tribute to Northeastern North Carolina filmmakers. It's going to be the whole deal, and we just want you guys to come out and join us. And I want to give a shout out to my amazing husband, who is the videographer, cinematographer, whatever he is in the background, and my amazing mom, who you cannot see. It takes all of us together to make this work. It takes all of us to make this work. James, how you be? How you doing?
I'm blessed. Thank you for having me.
I mean, look, you are here in northeastern North Carolina.
Yes.
You're not in Charlotte. You're not in Raleigh. You're not in Atlanta or Wilmington or LA.
Right.
And you bring to this community an amazing gifting of talent that had to be a calling. You know, there's a saying that from Hollywood to home or from home to Hollywood, this whole idea that if you took a survey of all of the Oscar, for example, award winners, most of them came out of what? Very small towns. And so here we are, y'all, with James Jones. Now I've got questions, that I'll be asking James. And it was a short notice, less than 24 hours.
Yes.
And not just James, but the Hub, which is Equity Film's group of filmmakers that we work with and support, will also be interviewed, and also I'll be on the road again next week with like Laponic Studios and Donnie and his group and Denitra and Crimson Vibes, and of course TJ and Dr. K.M. Smith, amazing filmmakers as well, and I'll be on the road with them in the weeks to come. So be on the lookout as we celebrate filmmakers on our way to the film festival. All right, James, here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, most definitely.
I think you were ready from the day you were born.
No, I guess I am.
You are. First question, what does it mean to have your work celebrated here in a rural, creative, and bold space like Eastern North Carolina as we head toward the film festival?
It means the world. It's amazing. As I said, and I believe that now they can hear us. We have a voice, and we can speak loudly. And speaking loudly, we're speaking loudly through art, through filmmaking, creating visuals, storytelling. So it's a beautiful thing, especially for Northeastern, really honoring who we are.
Why don't you take this moment, I know it's early in the interview, but would you mind taking this moment to introduce your audience and those of you watching, introduce them to some of your work?
So back in 2021, I ended up producing a film called Freedom of MC. That was actually picked up by select theaters, and we was able to pitch that actual film to a distribution company 1 year later. So that right there is kind of what built up my foundation of cinematography, filmmaking, storytelling,
Wow.
to let people know exactly the type of stories I want to tell.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. But and we can get into it later, but your love for film has not just been stagnated at all. It's like a daily progression of vision
Most
and
definitely.
mission and frustration
Yes, most definitely.
as you move through the process. So let's talk about, you said a little bit just now, but when did you learn your language of filmmaking? When did you know that there was no doubt about it, this is what you were called to do?
Oh man, I would have to say maybe it was around 2017, 2018, where at that time I didn't know who to talk to, didn't really have the resources of creating this film called Freedom of NC that I ended up writing. So it was from there, I knew it was a greater calling for me to pull out what was in me, and that was filmmaking. And I actually had to learn just the basics and the fundamental of creating that actual film there. So I would have to say around 2018 is where I really knew that was a gift that was given by God.
So here's the question now. Take a look at all the filmmaking you've done, right? Tell me what you learned from each stage of development from
Okay.
that film.
Okay.
Because then I'm going to ask you, in your latest work,
Okay.
what was it within that work that was the most emotionally challenging?
Okay.
So let's walk from when you first started
Right.
to your latest piece,
Okay.
which you entered, by the way. You
Right.
entered it into the film festival.
Right.
And so take us from your first, and along the way, lessons learned.
Working with Freedom of NC, I had to learn how to work with people. I think that was one of the most challenging, and probably still challenging, as of filmmakers, of just really taking a vision that you have as being a visionary and wanting people to see it.
Wow.
Wanting people to actually, to align with what you see visually, because I can see it, but can they see it? Can they illustrate what I see? So I think that was the most challenging part with Freedom of NC. You're talking about working around with 43 people, very first time. We worked around 6 different locations with Freedom of NC. So it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. So moving forward from Freedom of NC 2 years later, with 2024, working with Paydert, of my feature film as well. Working with people came a little bit much more natural with me, and really kind of understanding where they are. You understand? And to me, I just look at it as just an art, and just really trying to adapt to what they're bringing to the table and what I can kind of instill in them. And just sharing that vision, they was able to take those pieces and be able to illustrate those things. So I've learned a lot just how to communicate, the language of directing.
Yeah.
I would say that has been just the growth
Wow.
with filmmaking for me.
Well, I know, and I'm going to get to your last film, but I have to say this. I know you applied to Tyler Perry's latest project,
Yes.
where he was looking for creatives
Yes.
across the country. And tell us about that experience and what that meant to you to at least apply, and what were the results?
Most definitely. It was an exciting opportunity that I came across, and pretty sure, just like everyone else as a filmmaker, we know we're going to get that #1 spot, and you wanting to put your all into it, with every question that's been asked on the application, But
There were a couple questions, huh?
Right. But it's like, you got to really think, like, how can you really put yourself to, limit yourself within those 30, 40 questions that they're asking for them to see that
Yeah.
you have something special.
Yeah.
So that was just mind-boggling thing with that. But it was an opportunity. I didn't get picked, but it was just a growth for me to continue to keep forward and keep going and doing what I'm doing, you know?
How does it feel when you apply for something like that you want so bad? And I think Warner Brothers was also an application that he did along the way. And is your sensing, how do you deal with that emotionally, psychologically?
Right.
Because it's a lot. It takes a lot out of you when you do that, and it doesn't end up the way you want it to.
That's for anything, you know, especially a dream that you're chasing, you know. So it gets a bit frustrating as any man, you know, because I look at filmmaking as not just an art as well and a passion that I love, but I also believe that this here will also help pave the way financially for stability for my family and for those others that I can be able to help along the way as well. So, you know, I kind of bottle all of that up. So when certain things, as you mentioned, doesn't happen or may not come out, you know, may not go the way I want it to go, you know, a lot of time I have to suck it up. You know, I suck it up. It's frustrating. I go back to the drawing boards and say, what's next?
Your latest piece, talk to us about your latest piece.
My latest piece, Tricky Sam or The Hero versus Keys Carolina Coach? The Hero. Okay. So The Hero, Keys versus Carolina Coach, we already shot the short film for it. With shooting the short film, first and foremost, you know, thanking everyone who participated and made the doors open, such as yourself and other great people such as, you know, Commissioner Steve Lassner as well, just opening those doors and giving me the resources that I needed to really take that vision and really make it plain black and white. But it's one of those things where you know something is about to happen within the short film there, because I have it circulating in film festivals as now. And out of maybe 10, I've already been selected with 3.
Wow.
You know, official selections and 1 nominee that will be granted by the Morehouse Film Festival there in Atlanta. So I really believe in that project. You know, I believe in the project. I believe in Sarah Keys, for those who may not know who she is. A young woman, 22 years of age, who's traveling from Trenton, New Jersey, coming home to Washington, North Carolina. And she end up getting stopped, you know, pretty much having to be moved to the back of the bus, or being forced to be moved to the back of the bus. And she stood her ground. She didn't move. This transpired in 1952. And that was 2 years prior, before Rosa Parks.
Yes. When you take a look at, let's say, that particular work,
right?
What, out of all of your films, which one was most emotionally gripping, and why?
Out of all the films, which
that
one
grabbed you,
that really grabbed me?
That grabbed you. It could be a scene, a situation, or something that happened that when you said, "Oh my gosh,
right,
what is going on here?"
I would have to say, you know, it's between my first film and Sarah Keys, you know, and those two are very close because it hits home to me. You know, she's right here from the back, you know, in our backyard and where she's from, and just kind of putting out her story and, you know, becoming a greater voice for her is my destiny and what I want to do. Freedom of NC, the same here. You know, a lot of the things that was buried from North Carolina, right here in Eastern North Carolina, I was able to kind of portray that in Freedom of NC by bringing all types of art, if it's singing or if it was poetry, dancing, not just creating your typical slavery film, but making it very entertaining for the youth as well.
So when you take a look at most filmmakers, for those of you that are listening, They have this incredible budget that's almost a mile long.
Most definitely.
And they have access to extraordinary resources, both people assets and non-tangible asset and AI, just a lot of things. Right? Talk to us, especially about filmmakers who are in places where resources are not that steady. How in the world did you manage to create such incredible projects that can be seen on Tubi and Hulu and all those amazing places who have been chosen by Morehouse and other film festivals to be shown? And you shot the Keys in how many days?
It was within 2 days, 2 or 3 days.
And you wrote it, how long did it take you to write it?
Oh, a few hours. I did that at work. Yeah.
Could you say that? Could you look at that camera and say that again?
Oh, it took a few hours. Did that right here at work.
And what did you do? You wrote what?
I wrote The Keys versus Carolina Coach.
And that film is now where?
It's circulating in film festivals.
And you're heading to where? Atlanta, to the Morehouse?
Morehouse Film Festival, yes, most definitely.
Every young filmmaker out there should be asking him the question, how did you do it? So let's ask this question to you.
Okay.
How did you do it?
If I could look back at the camera and tell you it wasn't me, right? I have to say nothing but God. Favor. That's it. You know, because detaching myself from the actual core, you know, I wouldn't capable have the energy, the resources, the power, the ability to do any of it, you know, because the average person can quit. And I knew it was something that was greater and that was pushing me in everything that I do and believe in to do much more. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, there's times I wanted to quit, you know, but God will always remind me to pull out what was in me. And every time I did that, it was something new.
So what rules did you break?
A lot. Broke a lot of rules. Broke a lot of rules. You know, if you're speaking about camera techniques, I broke those. I didn't go to school for none of it, you know. What looks good, I did, you know, what I saw, you know. So if anyone that tells you, oh, you have to do it this way, you have to go to this school, you don't, you know, to really create, to really go out and do what you feel, you know. Also, along with the storytelling, you know, make movies or make stories, create books, what you want, you know, and not what everybody else wants.
But it does talk about mentors
Right.
for visuals and stylistic
Yes.
sections of your film or the way you approached your film. Talk to us about the influences, both stylistic wise,
Right.
And visual and all
Right.
those choices that you decided to make. Talk to us about that.
Just being inspired by people such as Spike Lee, Ernest Dickinson, you know, Ava DuVernay,
Ava.
those type of people. Even Ryan Coogler, you know.
Ryan.
Very, 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 very inspired by those guys and what they are able to do creatively within the filmmaking, you know. So a lot of times when I'm on set, those things come to me to try new things, you know. It may not be on that budget, but I'll find a way to create what I see, so.
What surprised you on a film set? I mean, you work to lay everything out and you get on set and it could be a wonderful surprise or it could be a resiliency, adaptability, you know, something that had to happen. But what are some of the surprises?
That's actually on set.
It doesn't have to be on set. It could be anywhere in the process of moving from conception to actual.
I think it's the final result after putting in the hard work, you know, taking an idea, putting it on paper, turning that paper, sharing it with others, converting their minds, them now illustrating those things, and then I'm able to edit it in post and seeing it done in real time. So it's a mind-boggling thing to be able to see all of that from the beginning. I know when Freedom of the Sin Seed, just sitting there at the theater and watching a movie It took me a little over 2 years to do because of the pandemic, but I was able to finish and complete it, and to be able to see a finished product was amazing.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Talk to us now then about your latest project that you're getting ready to shoot in just a couple of
Yeah.
weeks.
The latest project that I'm looking to shoot will be the Tricky Sam, the folktale stories that many people have heard right here in northeastern North Carolina. We're doing a TV pilot on it, and we'll be pitching it to become a limited series. Yep.
So you've got the film. You've got your film. You've got the ideas. Let's dig a little deeper.
Right.
Talk about the frustrations of all of this. You hinted on it a little earlier. This is not for the weak at heart or not.
Oh no!
neither.
Oh no!
It is. Talk about some of the most frustrating, darkest places that a filmmaker can go. Do you ever question? Have
Oh,
you
yes.
been called to this? And
Oh,
how
yes.
do you get yourself out of that very, very unwanted place?
Yeah, I was just there about a month ago. Again, like I said, you have this dream, and all you can see is the dream. You don't see nothing else outside of that dream. So, as a filmmaker, we get very discouraged or very frustrated, and a lot of times when things doesn't pan the way that we want it to pan out. And then some of us don't know what to do after that, And I've learned through the pattern, a lot of time I take a step back and I analyze myself and I question myself. I question God and I question, is this what I supposed to do, right? Because if it is, everything was or should, or what I believe should be granted to me, or all the tools that I should have. So when those things happen, I do question just to make sure that I'm understanding and walking the path that I should be walking on. No one wants to take any time of their day doing something they don't supposed to be doing if it's not meant, right? I know I don't. If you tell me don't do this and do something else, I'm doing that. I'm attached to it, but then I'm not attached to it as far as a filmmaker. So I feel that this is a great calling, and I feel that the frustrations that I've taken in through a lot of the disappointments only makes me stronger. Only makes me stronger, and it helps build a greater story to tell the next person.
And the frustrating thing that I've observed, for those of you that are listening, is that I've been able to walk with James alongside his family and other supporters, and I see how hard he works.
Oh yeah.
And the passion and the giftedness in his work. And I'm going to share something. So the other day, James,
Right.
I think I mentioned to you, I was invited to a listening session in my county with the group that has a new foundation that has been established, where there was a very kind county resident that left lots of millions of dollars for nonprofits
Right.
and others, with the focus, I'm sure, economic and community
Right.
development and all that cool stuff. My disappointment was, as I was sitting in that listening session, was that on the list, when they asked us at each table to take a look at the list that they had pre-populated, and they wanted us to answer the question on that list to vote on what we thought was most important. And they had the typical stuff, communication,
Right.
All that stuff. And then it said other, and when they came around, I said to the gentleman, I said, I'm disappointed that creatives, or creating a creative community was
Right.
not an important.
Right.
Was not important, and so when that was asked, and when I said it, he quickly wrote it down.
Right.
But in the writing down, he did or was able to understand that it was an important thing.
Right.
Do you need to do that? We can break if you need to.
Let me see.
James is coming right back, and I'm gonna talk about James. Remember, this is an informal. This is informal, and then the other part that was not on there was AI. So we have AI,
Hey, what's up, man?
and
Bless, brother.
the creative community was missing.
Okay.
And when James comes back, I want to ask James, how does he feel about the creative economy, developing creative ecosystems? What are his thoughts about the fact that these are economic development tools that are being brought to the community, and in them bringing it, the thought of the creative economy was not listed.
Okay.
And it's not because they never thought about it. I think that was the purpose of the listening session, right? So the purpose of the listening session is to say, what are we missing when we talk about strengthening your county, developing future assets, deploying projects, and deploying tools or financing in areas that make a lot of sense, that are best practices and a good investment of the donors' money,
And to the
because they are
back rooms.
stewards over that money, and they have a responsibility to be very good stewards to make sure that those of us who are funded use it wisely.
They should be open.
The budget aligns with vision and
Okay.
mission, which aligns with what the
Okay,
gentleman
this
left,
room too,
his,
here?
His,
Just these other.
the donor left his
Okay.
generous
Okay.
resources to do. So I'm curious on how James is going to respond to that. He'll be right back. Again, this is very impromptu, so you guys hang in there with it. Don't you dare leave this interview. And so I'm going to ask James about that. Then I'm going to ask James about who he'd like to pitch to that he hasn't pitched to. You ready? Yeah. Come on back in. Come on, everybody.
Oh, no.
I love these kind of interviews. I mean, this is real life.
Keep it nasty. Yeah.
Well, listen, this is not Hollywood. They say stop,
Yes,
go,
yes.
and they make you believe it's real. We're showing you the real. James, I just finished talking about that meeting.
Okay.
They didn't have creative anything on that list about supporting the creative economy.
Right.
Tell me when you hear me say that, what comes to you when in this new funding of money there was no mention of being able to support creatives?
I guess hearing it, not knowing nothing about it. I mean, I didn't have too much to say about it. Besides of, why
You guys
isn't
need
it?
money. Right.
Why
You
is
guys
yes,
need
yes.
support.
So just hearing you and kind of explaining certain things that you fight for and the money that is needed to create content that we're trying to do, and just trying to keep up with other cities. It can be a bit challenging as well with the not having an actual financial backing that's supporting that.
Or support system for the creatives.
That too. That too.
Just having a system in place that says, filmmakers, we got you.
Right.
What do you need? You need a camera rented this weekend that's costing $300? We got you.
Yeah.
Or you want to send your films to 5 more film festivals that are promising? Film festivals can be expensive. They could be $100 or $200
Right.
per festival,
Right.
as low as $20 or $50.
Right.
So if you submitted to 10, he might have had to spend $2,000.
True.
Or he could have spent $200. Either way, that is money being taken out of your pocket.
Yes.
If you had a chance to pitch to anyone, here we go.
Okay.
Who would you pitch to? And here's another question. Talk to them about the type of films in your wheelhouse that you focus on. But then who would you pitch to if you had an opportunity?
Well, the type of movies that it gravitates me, and movies I will continue to make, would be a lot of biopic movies based on real life, real events, history. Those types of movies that it gets the recognition, but there's a lot of untold stories, you understand, especially from this state here or where I am here, a lot of stories that haven't yet been told.
Yeah.
Who's going to tell them, and I want to be one of those individuals to tell those types of stories. Very big on history, very big on just the culture and where we come from. And I think with filmmaking or any art, singing, music, plays a part with that, you know, just of connecting us or one step closer to the actual core of who we are, you know. So as far as the question of who will I pitch
Who'd you like to?
to, oh man, that's. And are you speaking as of an individual, a company?
Your choice.
A distribute.
Your choice. Because all of them you have to pitch to.
True.
So simply your
True.
choice.
Um,
Or all three. It doesn't have to just be one. It could be pitching to all three or not.
Most definitely. I would like to pitch a deal like Ryan Coogler pitched.
But own it in 25.
Yes. Ownership. You know, ownership. You know, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
You know, like even with Freedom of NC, some people know, some of those that don't. You know, my film it's mine, but it's not mine because, you know, signing the distribution, you know, that film itself is under a 6-year contract, a legal contract.
Yeah.
So, you know, I really can't do whatever I want to do. It limits you. So moving forward and knowing that, going through those obstacles, and, you know, I want to own everything that I touch.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the main thing, you know, owning it. You know, another player is Tyler Perry. He's big on just ownership.
Yeah.
You know, just owning what you create, you know, and what you are able to do with it. I think that's the powerful thing.
Okay, so given that, okay, now that you said that,
Yes.
what actors or actresses would you like the pleasure of directing? If you had to direct,
Wow.
if you had to direct some, you know, you would just
Wow.
in your bucket list, who would that be? It
Oh,
could be more than
man.
one. It could be 2, 3, or 4, or 5. It doesn't have to be limited.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. But
Yeah.
I like, who do I like? I like a lot of them.
I know you do.
It's so many of them. I would have to say Forrest Whitaker just comes to my mind.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he's underrated. You know, I don't think he gets the truly credit as an actor and how long he's been in the industry.
Yeah.
As most. You know, people quick to, oh, Denzel. Denzel's good.
And
That's the first thing that
That's
people
the
would
first
say.
one that came to my mind, James.
Yeah. You know, and that's the first thing people would say. And he's awesome. I would love.
Denzel was the first.
Yeah, I would love to work with him as well. But, you know, there's others that's out there, you know, Forrest Whitaker, Lawrence Fishburne. These guys, you know, these guys been in the game for a while and still doing it, you know. So I feel like these guys can really teach me a lot as well. Not only me directing them, they can help me direct, you know, just how long they've been in the game. Yeah.
Well, you know, James, you're still so young. Hey, everybody, let's be clear.
Yeah.
Still a 30-something for a while.
Yes.
And he is.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, he's still so young, and at some point he's gonna say, Miss Ferguson, I don't feel young. I've been doing this so long. I know I'm good. I know I can produce and that I can do.
Right.
As we start to kind of bring some things to a close, the Pecan Pickling Film Festival, each year, James has been able to grace us with his presence alongside other members of the Hub, who I will be, of course, interviewing in just a few days now, next weekend. And during that time, we've had an opportunity as a festival to award James over the past 2 years for his excellence in filmmaking and setting such a beautiful standard for the state
And she was the first.
of North Carolina. Say it again.
You were the first.
The first.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I mean,
Yeah.
because I could not believe no one had discovered you. I mean, that is that weird word I often joke about. You never were lost.
Well, but someone that who acknowledged the talent and took it on yourself to appreciate that, you know, and that's what I told you last night when we talked. You were the first, you know. I've never been to other festivals besides yours first. So, you know, you gave me and pushed me further and told me more about myself than I even really believed in at that time. So I really, truly appreciate that.
And so that's why the Pecan Pickling Film Festival is so powerful.
Yeah.
Because our whole mission, our whole goal is how do we take filmmakers from underserved and under-resourced communities
Right.
and rural communities and give them an opportunity to have a voice on some of the biggest stages. They are part of the indie group. When you hear the word indie, they are independent filmmakers.
Yes, yes.
And if I don't do it, that's another story on how I got
Right.
this, which I'm not going to take the time to go through now. But if you keep listening to all of the interviews, it'll get in there on how I was ready to just keep moving with my life, and the good Lord said, nope. And so to be in the presence of James and the other filmmakers was just something absolutely incredible. James,
Yes.
As we prepare to close out, we know you're homegrown and rooted.
Yes.
Not saying that you will always be here.
Right.
Not saying that your gifts and talents
Right.
will not take you across the world.
Right.
That is a truth. That's the truth.
Yes.
That's the truth. Your gifts and talents will take you across the world. And in that, it's something I know you're looking forward to.
Yes.
Talk talk in that camera that's pointing toward us. Remember, y'all, this camera is a grassroots camera shooting. It's guerrilla style. We're doing this. Just look in that camera, and as long as you want to talk to anyone you want to talk to.
Right.
But I want you to pour your heart out on the need for creatives to be supportive in,
Right.
in communities that are not the major hot spots
Right.
across the world, and that the talent exists. And then tell them anything else you want to tell them about your upcoming work.
Right.
Tell them about, whatever the things you're doing, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
And take as long as you like.
Well, born and raised here, Greenville, North Carolina. Too many things, I will say don't come out of this town here itself. I can't speak about other towns, counties, but I really push that the support or the support itself would be really pushed by our communities, families, friends, church ones, lovers, whoever, to help us and support us and what we're doing. Because it does take a lot of money, it takes a lot of time.
Yes.
And that's what I would tell my cast all the time. I can owe you and pay you back, right? At a totally different day. But what I can't give you back is time. Once you lose that time, that's it. So, we pour a lot of our time, and it's a lot into putting films together, finding the right crew, right cast, locations. It's getting better a little since I've been in it, but there's still much work to do. Still much work to do to really get, if it's the city officials and just people involved on what's really happening right here. You know what I mean? And without being, boasting or, just glanting myself, I should be really acknowledged in my own town, not Atlanta, but I'm getting acknowledged in a whole different state for what I'm doing, So it's one of those things of just kind of getting behind us and supporting us and pushing us. The way Miss Ferguson is doing and her team as well, who believes in a lot of the creators that's in this area, because there's a lot of talent that's here. Outside of filmmaking, a lot of singers, musicians, art, just itself, that's right here. Even other little smaller towns than Greenville itself. We just need those individuals to help push us just above that peak, so that we know that we have that support behind us. So, my thing, if I can leave you with something, is always believe in yourself. If no one else does, believe in yourself. Continue to follow the intuition, the inner you, right? They say mans don't have intuition, they wrong. She reminds me every day, right? So men do got intuition.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we do. So follow yourself, follow your dreams, and pull out of yourself. You know, a lot of us don't know what we're supposed to be doing in life. You know what I mean? I'm just talking with someone and he's older than me and still don't know what his purpose is, right?
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes we have to dig, you know, and asking God, like, what is it? What is it for me to do? Because there's a purpose and a lot of us don't know. So, you know, grind it out, you know, be you, be original, create. Tyler Perry is doing it already, just being that creator, or just creating that type of space to show that, hey, I don't have to sit at their table, I'm creating my own.
Yes.
And that's the type of, I guess, the pattern that I want to follow in.
Wow, that is. You did great.
Yes.
Didn't he do great? He
Thank
did
you.
simply.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh my gosh. Well, listen, you guys, join us at the third annual Pecan Pickling Film Festival, September the 12th and the 13th. The 12th is going to be at 104 Lancaster Street in Windsor. I hope I got that right. There's only one in Windsor, North Carolina from 9 to 5. And then the next will be the red carpet event that following day, which is Saturday, September the 13th. We're getting at 5 o'clock. And the Arts Council will also be doing a welcoming on that Friday after 5 o'clock.
Right.
I want all of you to join me. Go to www.equity-films.org for more information. www.equity-films.org. James, anything else before we close it?
Hey.
We love y'all. Thank
Thank
you
you
so very, very much for joining me. Listen, the interviews are going to get better. He was my test pilot. Thank you for being brave.
Thank you for having me.
We've got about 4 or 5 more to go. So follow us and stay up with us, okay? Love y'all. Thank you.
Take care. Be
Join
blessed.
us.
Bye-bye.